Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a mini modern McDonald's in Minecraft for all of your city building needs. Fun fact, I am hidden somewhere in the intro of this video. Leave a comment down below letting me know if, where and when you found me. The first person to get it right will have their comment pinned. In this tutorial, not only will I show you how to make the entire outside of the build, but I will also show you how to make the inside as well. This is the amount of space required to make the build, a 19 block wide by 24 block long area, as represented by this very handy grid on the screen. To find the starting position, we begin at the front left hand corner of the grid, count backwards, find the 8th block, and just to the right of that is our starting position. And here are all of the materials that we will use throughout the build. Please do make sure that you have access to all of these. Begin the build by placing a spruce plank on the ground. Then place 6 grey concrete to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Dig 2 blocks to the right in the ground. 1, 2. And replace those blocks with quartz bricks. Then continue to the right and place 3 grey concrete. 1, 2, 3. And then a spruce plank to the right. Then place 5 grey concrete extending towards the back of the build. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Followed by 6 spruce planks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We then want to extend across the back of the build, placing spruce planks lining up with the front of the build. We then want to extend towards the front of the build by placing 3 planks, 1, 2, 3, dig to the right in the ground, place a quartz brick, oak door on top, spruce plank to the right, and then grey concrete extending and joining back to where we first started. I think that now is a great time to remove all of the grass from inside the build. And we can replace all of that grass with quartz bricks. We then want to place an additional 3 spruce planks on top of the front left hand corner of the build. 1, 2, 3. And an additional 3 spruce planks on top of the front right corner. 1, 2, 3. And we will join these 2 rows together at the top with a row of grey concrete. Then we will place a row of grey concrete extending out of the back of these rows. And this row of grey concrete is going to follow the same path as the lower part of the wall. So just like this. We can then connect this spruce plank on the right side of the build up to our new row of grey concrete. We can extend all of these rows of spruce planks up as well to join this row. We can then fill the back in using spruce planks. There is a drive-thru window back here, but it's easier to position this later. And we also want to extend these spruce planks up on the left side of the build to join the grey concrete. Then, on this side of the build, we want to place 1, 2 polished tuff wall right in the middle of this row of grey concrete. And we can fill the rest of this space in using black stained glass paint. Extending around to the front of the build, we will do a similar thing. We will place polished tuff wall here and here, just left and right of the entrance. And then on the left side, we will split this area in two, and whilst it might not look like it, this is actually an even space. It looked a little bit weird just because of how the wall was sitting, but we have a nice even set of windows. And on the right side of the build, we just want to do the same. So just right of the door, and on the very right side of the build, we want to also split these windows in half and place black stained glass pane in the remaining empty space, just like this. We can then place a layer of smooth stone slabs all the way around the outside of the top of our walls. Then we are going to fill the top of the build in using grey concrete. This will create the interior ceiling. And now that we have filled the ceiling in, we are going to add an additional row of 1, 2, 3, 4 grey concrete, extending up from the front left-hand corner of the build. And then we will extend that row of 4 grey concrete all the way along the outskirts of the walls. So we're sitting inside of the smooth stone slab for this, and we are simply making the upper part of McDonald's. So that's why I referred to as the previous part as the ceiling and not the roof. As if you wanted to, you could actually make the ceiling a lot higher inside McDonald's by simply just moving the big giant square of it that we placed earlier 1, 2, 3 rows up if you like, but I like the more cozy feeling that we have created by doing this. And speaking of filling things in, now we can fill the very top of this in using grey concrete. Next, we are going to add one of my favourite parts, the McDonald's logo. On the left side of the build, starting here, we will place 1, 2 yellow concrete. Then 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and then 2 here. Just like this. You can see that it sits directly above this window. And I think that that is very transformative. That looks fantastic. Next, let's do some landscaping. We will begin by placing ferns in front of our McDonald's, leaving space for the entrance. We will then dig in between these and in front of these, and we can dig all the way over to the left and remove part of the grid. We can also remove the grid extending all the way back, lining up with the back wall of the build. We can then replace all of that empty space with smooth stone. Then we will remove all of the grass and grid from in front of our smooth stone at the front of the build. We can add a row of smooth stone on the left and right side of the empty space that we have created. And we can also add a couple of rows of smooth stone that lead us into our McDonald's. We also want to split this left side in half with a row of white concrete. We can then fill all of this empty space in using cyan terracotta. This will create car parking spaces. We will then add yellow carpet on top of the ends of our rows of cyan terracotta. We will then remove 3 additional rows, 1, 2, 3, of grass / grid extending all the way around the outside of our McDonald's. 1, 2, 3. So extending all the way across the back here too. And then we will replace all of that with cyan terracotta. Then, we want to place ferns all the way along the outside of the terracotta. We do have to replace some of the grid for this. And then, along the outside of the ferns, we will place 2 rows of polished granite. This will create a wall. I did also consider using just straight up bricks for this as well, but granite isn't something that I use often, and I really like it here, so... Next, we will add another one of my favourite parts, the sign. The position for the sign is opposite this smooth stone block, so we remove this fern, there's opposite that block here, and place 1, 2, 3, 4 polished tough wall, and then spruce plank, which we will extend left and right, another polished tough wall on top of the centre block, 2 yellow concrete extending upwards, a yellow concrete extending upwards and outwards diagonally on both sides, and then yellow concrete extending down and left/right diagonally on both sides, which we will then extend down to join to the spruce planks. So this is what it looks like now. Alternatively, we can use this opportunity to place a little bit of red concrete in the build. So I don't know whether it completely just throws off the entire colour balance, or if it enhances it with a pop of colour. I think it might be better with these spruce planks, but do feel free to try either way. Regardless, that is how you make the sign. We also want to add an order board right here. So at the end of this road, we will place 2 note blocks with 2 rows of black concrete on top, and then just a bunch of random paintings, just like this. So you can either place it along the right side of the road or the left, or you could do something which I've never done. I'm going to try it right now, even though I know I won't like it. You can extend the board. So you could make it even larger, but that for some reason is unacceptable in my mind, and we must stick with this. Last bit of detail for the outside. The entrance. So when it comes to the entrance, you could leave it nice and open like this. You could add a row of black stained glass pane to the door like this. You could add an iron bar to it as well. Or, alternatively, you could use black stained glass instead of the black stained glass pane. I think all of these have their merit. I am using the black stained glass only because it creates a slight amount of depth, but honestly, either way is great. With the entire outside of the build complete, we can now head inside and work on the interior. We will first turn our attention to the dining area, which is in the front left-hand corner of the build. Place 2 spruce stairs, like this, with spruce fence in front of them, spruce stair on the opposite side, then another row of spruce fence, and another row of spruce stair. Place green carpet on top of the fence, like this, and then a cauldron here, oak trapdoor here, smooth stone slab here, item frame here. Perfect. Then, on this wall, we will place an upside down smooth quartz stair here, and here, white concrete here, and here. We will then place a painting here and here. It doesn't really matter which one, with a smooth quartz slab on top of each of these. We will then place 2 spruce plank extending left of this block. So 1, 2, and then an oak door, another plank, which we will then extend backwards, and then we want to box this entire area in. Then we will add a sign here which simply says toilet, or toilets, whichever you prefer. Toilet sounds right, but I think toilet also works. Anyway, we then want to come over to this wall and place a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 grey concrete, just like this. We can then place a smooth stone slab with an item frame on top of it and a chest in the item frame. I like to face it this way. And then above this, dangling down from the ceiling, a pale oak hanging sign and just the word collection, just like this. Then, to the left of this, a lantern, flower pot, dandelion inside, smooth quartz stair here, heavy weighted pressure plate here, and also just a row of green carpet in front of here. We then want to add a black concrete here in this position, behind and to the left of our sign, 2 black concrete here, in front of and to the left of the single black concrete, and then another row of 2 black concrete behind and to the left. So we get this interesting cluster of depth, and we can just add paintings to these. It doesn't really matter which ones. I would recommend ones that can kind of look like anything. Sometimes 1x1s are really good for this, preferably ones that don't keep repeating. I'm getting the absolute worst look right now. Something like this looks just fine. Now we can head into the kitchen behind the counter here, and we can place a chest in this corner. Remove these 2 blocks above the chest and then to the left here. We then want to add black stained glass pane to one of these sides. I recommend this one. Item frame here, and then 2 block of iron here. Stone buttons here, cauldron here, item frame on top, horn coral fan inside, iron trapdoor here, another item frame on top, another horn coral fan. It doesn't really matter which way they face, but I prefer this way. Blast furnace here, polished blackstone pressure plate on top. Then we can place a polished blackstone stair here with 2 grey concrete to the left of it, and here as well. Brewing stand here, flower pot here, and a lever here, then an item frame here, potion of healing inside, and believe it or not, that's it. Which is what I would say if we didn't still have to make the toilets. So let's head all the way over into here, and inside this room we will place an upside down smooth quartz stair, oak trapdoor on top, 2x2 square of smooth quartz block to the right, with quartz slabs on top, oak door here, then smooth stone slab here, lever here, item frame here, throw the loom on the ground, light blue banner with white dye in there, and apply a gradient pattern, a bend pattern, black dye in there, bore jaw pattern, and throw that on the wall right there. Then on this opposite wall, we will stick a smooth quartz stair here, stone button here, and then a flower pot here. And now, with that final detail added, we have officially completed this tutorial. However, this video is not over. We must now add our mini modern McDonald's into our city. I think that there really is only one place for this build, and that is in the new modern suburbs. Luckily, we already have this placeholder crane sat right here that isn't too far off of the size of our new mini modern McDonald's. So I think that we'll shuffle that over there, add McDonald's here, and honestly, I'm loving it. You may be interested in becoming a channel member. You can click the join button that will be somewhere on the screen right now. This does cost money and is a monthly subscription, but you do get some perks. The first of which is a download link for my city design world. This has every single build that I have placed in my city, arranged in order, and labelled. This perk also comes with schematics for the mods Lightmatica and World Edit, so you can easily reference and copy and paste these builds into your worlds in any way that you'd like. However, if you're not interested in any of that building business, the highest tier allows you to download the most current version of Mini-City. There are also some minor perks, including loyalty badges displayed next to your name whenever you comment something down below on my videos. Depending on how long you have been a channel member, you gain a more prestigious helmet, with the highly coveted gold builder's hat being the most valuable. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.